Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about The Circle, Season 6, Episode 6.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. Blair, go walk us through this. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We've got two new players joining the game.
Who are the two new players?
Jordan, 24, from Austin, Texas. He's a photographer. He is going in as himself, but with a twist.
What's the twist?
He used to be 300 pounds, so he's going into the game before he lost the weight. He can easily get mistaken as a D-bag with his current confidence in his looks. So he wants to go in being the funny, chubby, nice guy.
Yeah, bad idea. And there's no wrong with saying douchebag.
Okay.
The problem with that is, unfortunately, there's fat phobia. So automatically, especially with the picture he chose, I was like, nah. I said, people not gonna be mean to you because you fat, but I don't think like Fat Jordan would have did good. I think he probably would have did better being a total different person or just himself, how he is currently, and things like that. And I'm just going off of the AI of how he chose to portray Max.
Yeah,
he didn't portray Max as a husky guy or anything like that. It was a regular sized guy. So I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling the picture off top, unfortunately.
Yeah, I get what you mean as far as basically what societal norms are that people find pleasing to the eye and would probably make you more comfortable
Brandon
to
Olivia.
talk to them. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's why Brandon went in as Olivia
100%.
because of the societal norms of what is perceived to be beautiful.
You're right.
Or trustworthy.
You're right.
So next we have Autumn. She is 21. She's from Tennessee and she is a ranch hand.
Howdy.
And she is going in as herself.
Okay.
The other players are alerted to two new players that have entered the game. Today they have to rate each other, but Autumn and Jordan can rate, but they cannot be rated.
Okay.
Everyone has to send a private message to butter up the new folks. The newbies have to pick their top person to continue to have the chat with.
Okay.
Autumn selects Paul. Paul shared that he was going to spill the beer and he has some info to share about the game. He tells her to watch out for Lauren. Cassie is a snake. Olivia is lagging behind. QT and Miles have a love affair going on and people are not trusting Kyle.
And that's why Paul is not one of my favorite characters. You just like, what have this person done to earn all this information?
Exactly.
They are not your friends. They are like, it just came off as like, okay.
And it's like, where do your loyalties lie? And pretty much.
also, if you go back to last episode, I touched on this a little bit. The reason why it comes off weird because this is Paul saying it, right? Or catfish Paul, I should say.
Correct.
Guys don't be really talking like that. Dropping like you forgetting that you're a guy. A guy's not just gonna come in and just give everything off top. You get what I'm saying? So I just felt like that was a bad move by catfish Paul.
Yeah, Autumn thought it was a lot of dirt.
Yeah. She's
going to keep her eye on Cassie, but it also made her think that Paul might be saying things to just get her on his side and only his side. Jordan selects Miles.
Yeah.
Miles tells him Paul has been playing a messy game, possible catfish. Lauren lost her two main allies, and he's been flirting with QT, but he needs a circle bestie. Jordan, do you think you could fill in that role? Jordan agrees to be his circle bestie. So circle chat with everyone starts. Autumn asks if anyone has tea to spill before the vote tonight.
Yeah.
Cassie says after last night's game, some people have been explaining a lot, talking about Miles. She wants to see if Miles is going to say that she wasn't a snake.
Basically saying he going to stick to his promise to apologize in front of everybody. I think.
Yeah, people have some explaining to do. Sorry about that. Yeah. Miles admits to painting Cassie. He thought it was funny. He said it was a joke. He thought it was a roast session.
Okay.
Jay asked for someone to help him out for the ratings as far as more info. Olivia doesn't want to throw anyone under the bus, but she says that we have to rate with our hearts. It's a lot of negative energy, and it doesn't have to be this way.
That's true.
Cassie says this is a game and everyone has a strategy. Keep that in mind when going into ratings.
Okay. That might give us some good advice.
Olivia sends a message to Kyle. She apologizes for hurting his feelings about calling him AI. They're both willing to start fresh. Kyle gets deep by saying his mom is also his everything. He lost his dad to cancer at a young age. Brandon is a little bit conflicted at first because his father also passed away when he was young. But he doesn't know if this is what he wants to play in the game as Olivia's story because he is creating and making up a person for the purposes of the game. So he does share it. He said he's going to be vulnerable and try to connect with Kyle over that, and they do bond over that.
So let me get this straight. Kyle lost his father to cancer. That's why he said he loved his mother. He's close with his mom, right? Mm-hmm. Not Olivia, but Brandon.
Yeah.
He experienced the same type of loss in some factor. And now Brandon is conflicted of, like, this is not Olivia's story, but this is Brandon's story. Do you feel like they should have had this heart-to-heart?
Do I feel like they should have had it? I think it was fine. I think they needed to start fresh. I think Olivia kind of put herself in a box when it came to defending Steffi, not really forming that greater relationships with the other people in the house. So I think she kind of boxed herself in. So for Olivia, I thought she needed it. Kyle, not necessarily. Kyle has a good enough amount of people, QT, Miles, Paul, stuff like that. So he didn't necessarily need to reveal that, but I could understand why people would want to bond over something to, just increase their favor in the house.
See, my thing is, I think everybody is too lax.
Okay.
They felt like, oh, well, the AI is not here anymore, so I can now believe when people say they are who they are.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, I don't think I would have shared that intimate information because I could be sharing it with a catfish.
True.
And I don't necessarily know that even though Brandon's story is true about how he lost his father, they could be lying just to appease me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So Kyle, and also I do think it did help Olivia because QT set Olivia up with the picture. So it benefited Olivia in some factor. Mm-hmm. In a way, kind of threw a wrench in QT playing a little bit. But at the same time, I'm like, oh boy, y'all sharing things with people y'all don't even know are real. And you don't even know if the story is real. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I felt kind of awkward watching it because Kyle was like tearing up and Olivia crying. And I'm just like, this is kind of weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we get an alert that it's time for them to rate each other.
Yeah.
Cassie says that she's going to flip her vote so she can try to be high in their ratings and be voted as an influencer. Everyone places their vote. Olivia messages Cassie. Olivia asks Cassie how she's doing. Cassie's conscience is messing with her a bit. She rated Olivia low, and Olivia is now checking on hers. Okay. So she's stressing just a tad bit.
Just a little bit.
They talk about how they're freaking out about the new folks voting for them without knowing them. So we move on when the ratings are in, and these are the ratings.
What's the ratings, Blair?
7th place, Cassie.
Cassie, you at the bottom.
6th place, Olivia. 5th, Paul. 4th, Miles. 3rd, Lauren. And our influencers, 2nd place is QT. 1st place is Kyle.
Kyle, number 1. Wake up, buddy. Again, for number 2. Because while all it was going on, Kyle was like, oh, am I about to be an influencer? And now he's over here happy that he's an influencer with his sister.
Yes.
Right? But where really, that's your number 1 enemy right there. That's basically trying to get you out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's playing things, who's playing puppet master with you. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the alert says it's now time for the influencers to decide which players to block.
Yeah.
Autumn and Jay have immunity.
Yeah.
Kyle and QT go to the hangout to decide who to block. They both want to keep Miles. QT brings up Olivia, but Kyle wants to circle back around to her later. They had a good conversation. She's not really top of his list at the moment. And I think that was upsetting for QT because she wanted Olivia to be top of his list at the moment.
Because she had no idea we talked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're right.
Kyle isn't feeling Cassie. QT doesn't think she should stick her neck out for Cassie if people aren't liking her, so she doesn't defend Cassie.
It's basically like the safe choice. It seemed like it's like, you know what,
she came in bottom.
Yeah, it will make sense,
right? And we don't have to create any enemies.
Yeah.
So they both think Lauren is a possibility to block. She comes across as too nice, and they don't know where she stands if she were to have to block someone.
Yeah.
They're down to Lauren, Olivia, and Cassie. The influencers have made their decision. The news is delivered via circle chat.
Now, I have a question. If you was in the influencer box, who would you have voted out?
Let me see. Who's there? People, Lauren, Olivia, and Cassie. I probably would have voted Lauren.
Okay. I'm going for Paul. I'm sorry. I'm going for Cass Rich Paul. I just gotta get him.
Well, out of the three, they came the
I
three.
know.
Who do you think?
Those are not the three I want, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, those are not the... I know it's like Lauren, but Lauren ain't do nothing to me.
But the thing is, I think Lauren has a bigger ability to gain more people on her side.
So you want to get her out before she start using that influence?
Right, before she becomes an influencer and she has to start making decisions. Because like they said, she's so nice to everybody, you really don't know where she stands. Mm-hmm. But I would use Cassie as a shield. Yeah. She be in the chats popping off, so she's going to pop off on somebody else at some point. Mm-hmm. And Olivia just isn't as... powerful in the chats, very kind of like timid, not sure what to say, and not the best at showing her personality or Brandon's personality. So I want to get the stronger out of the three out, who I perceive to be.
Okay. Was that the end of the...
That's it?
Okay, we only had 11 minutes. Let's go to the next episode. I thought we had more time.
Okay. So they decided to block Cassie.
Okay.
Alerts. Cassie can meet one player face-to-face before leaving. She decided to meet Olivia/Brandon. I
was very, surprised that she chose to meet Olivia.
Yeah.
Right? I would have thought that she would have met Miles. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because kind of in a way, her being known as a snake, I want to see, are you a snake? Are you who you say you are? Are you Miles or are you... somebody else? So for her wanting to choose Olivia in a way, I was scared for Brandon.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because Olivia is not Olivia.
Right.
So I'm like, maybe she wanted to meet her because that's one of her closest connections.
Yes.
And then just to find out that your closest connections is not who they say they are. So it kind of like, oh no, poor Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
well, Cassie comes in. She looks shocked, but she seems very cool about it. Yeah. Like she wasn't going to rag on Brandon for not being who he really is.
Brandon looked terrified.
Yeah, Brandon looked terrified.
He was hiding behind the pillow, right? He was hiding behind the pillow and he just waited for her reaction. Mm-hmm. And when she screamed, that's when he screamed like, ah, and stuff like that. So I was like, I understand why you screamed. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand.
Right. Well, Brandon says everything he said he meant. Olivia is his coworker friend. Okay. Cassie explains her backstory and talks about her blended family. Mm-hmm. Cassie tells her that QT sent her home and she was in an alliance with her. So QT did her dirty. Brandon says that she broke 2 alliances with you because Cassie was saying that she was in an alliance also with QT and Miles. So she says, they're snakes. You got to get them out.
Oh, that is interesting. Mm-hmm. Let's keep going.
Olivia wants to message Kyle and Lauren to speak up about the QT situation, but the news feed has been updated. Cassie leaves a message for the circle. Yeah. They see that she's real. She says her biggest regret was aligning with who she aligned with. Mm-hmm. She says there are plenty more snakes in the circle, and she tells everyone to be true to themselves.
Oh, QT. And Miles was like, oh, especially QT. QT was like, oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I was laughing at Autumn's reaction because remember when they had a choice when the newbies first came into the circle?
Yeah.
They had a choice of who to do a private chat with and things like that. Autumn didn't choose Cassie, which we would have thought they would have bonded because they're both country girls.
Yeah.
So when Autumn saw that Cassie was who she said she was, and then she's countries, I don't know what. She was like, oh, me and her would have got along.
Yeah.
Man, you missed out.
So the circle chat starts.
Yeah.
Kyle says he and QT believe the other players deserve to stay more. Mm-hmm. He says he doesn't know who she's throwing shots at. QT says the group putting her in last place helped her make her decision. Mm-hmm. She says she feels bad for betraying Cassie. Okay. I was like, QT, why are you saying you betrayed the girl?
Exactly.
Nobody knows who she's talking about.
But hold on. But at the same time, I think she's, besides turning it into a witch hunt, right? It's kind of best if I kind of get ahead of it a little bit.
But no, because now everybody, which they didn't do, but what they should have done is thought QT was a backstabber.
That's what I would have did.
Yeah.
I would have wrote hashtag backstabber, you're next. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I think the way that QT wrote it, if I'm not mistaken, she kind of wrote it that in a way that like, I'm sorry Cassie feel this way. I was in an alliance with her, but she kind of made it seem like I wasn't the only one in the alliance, but
I don't think she that came across at all. She just said, I feel bad for betraying her.
But my thing is, you can't blame QT for this, though.
It was a 2-person decision.
No, it's not even a 2-person decision. If everybody did not pick up on QT being in an alliance with her and that she backstabbed her, then it's their fault.
Right.
It's their fault for not saying, oh, she's untrustworthy, we gonna make sure we don't start an alliance with her. You get what I'm saying? Because even then, if you remember, there was when Cassie was talking about snakes and backstabber and that she was in alliance with somebody. Kyle was in his room like, who was she in alliance with?
Yeah.
Right? And then when it came out that it was QT, that didn't make him think like, oh, she's a backstabber. But
it should have.
But it didn't.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Olivia shares that Cassie came to her room the night before.
Yeah.
And pretty much everybody wants to know, so what happened? Paul asked for the tea. Miles says that he knows the tea was probably about him and the portrait. Olivia says Cassie put her trust in the wrong people and people will eventually show their true colors. Circle chat ended.
And this is where I blame Olivia too.
Yeah, Olivia, this was your chance to get some lines drawn in the sand, to actually make a stand to say, hey, y'all, these are the people that did Cassie wrong. And Cassie put her trust in these people and they lied to her. They're going to lie to you too.
Exactly. See,
you know?
You see what you should have you should have thanked Cassie for not exposing you, first of all, Brandon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you should have, by paying her back, you should have did exactly what Blair just said.
Right.
Just put hashtag QT Miles and then close that. You know what I'm saying? Just period.
Right. So Kyle thinks Miles and QT are looking bad. Paul says that it's either Olivia or QT that outed themselves by saying they betrayed Cassie.
I don't know what Paul doing.
Yeah, Olivia thinks Miles is a puppet master. Autumn doesn't plan on trusting QT.
Okay.
Autumn's the only one who picked it up, y'all.
Only one.
Olivia messages Lauren. Olivia shares how Cassie was in an alliance with Miles and QT.
And this is what you're talking about. Everybody keep going to Lauren as if like, because she seems so on an island by herself, that she's the safe choice, where she could potentially, with all the information that she's getting, she could become the most dangerous player once she gets some power. Yep, you're
exactly. Because Olivia, she's not even going to who she should go to with this information.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Well, they discuss how Miles seemed shady and was flip-flopping. They solidify an alliance. Jordan messages Kyle. Jordan talks about missing home and wanting Kyle to catch him up. Kyle says, because I was an influencer, he wants to chat with me, clearly. But he's like, what does he want to know?
Stop right here. Just to build this scene out a little bit more. Jordan's over here trying to play puppet master himself. Right? He's trying to play puppet master himself. I think he's doing a terrible job at it. And he picked to talk to Kyle because he feels like, and I'm paraphrasing, that Kyle is dumb enough to give him information just because he asked. Right. With no type of alliance, with no type of friendship, anything. He'd just be like, I need to talk to Kyle because I need to figure out some information. What think people just gonna give you information because you asked?
Right. The opportunity for that was when y'all had the chat and people were trying to vie to get your attention to have a conversation with you. At this point, I mean, people keeping stuff close to the vest.
And then you didn't choose to talk to Kyle. You talked to Miles. Right. You get what I'm saying? But continue.
So Kyle asked him what he wants to know, because I'm not just gonna start saying stuff.
Come on.
Jordan asked what Cassie meant about putting her trust in the wrong people. Kyle is not going to throw QT under the bus.
Of course not.
So he says he was confused by Cassie's comment.
Of course.
Jordan throws Miles' names out there. Kyle says, let's circle back around when we have more info. Kyle didn't want to reveal all the information he had.
And Jordan was like, well, that was a failure. You think? Because you're coming in, if anything, you're coming in acting like a bot.
Right.
You're coming in, you're not trying to build no friendships.
No, just tell me what you know.
You're coming in like you're 12. Yeah. And when I say 12, I mean the police.
Okay.
Right? You're coming in like, so what do you know about the shooting that happened over here? So it's like, no, I'm not going to be snitching to you and things like that. And then it doesn't help that you're fat in your photo.
Okay.
It doesn't help. You get what I'm saying? Because and then like you're doing this in the photo, so you're big and like you just look goofy.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. In societal ways, I wouldn't trust my information to someone who, for one, is not trying to build any stronger connections besides just game connections, and then two, I don't like your photo.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm sorry, like we have to be that surface level because we don't have touch connection, we don't have eyesight connection. I literally going off of a photo that I don't even know if it's you. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Well, Paul messages Miles to see if they can formulate a strategy to get out of ranking in the middle. Yeah. Miles says, and my thing with Paul is like, you're always like coming out here trying to see if other people can formulate strategies, and it's just like
he don't never had no strategy.
He don't have no strategy, or like he always puts it in the other person's, like the ball in their court, and it's just kind of like, Paul, like come in strong, you know what I mean?
That's why Paul and Jordan is my least favorite people on the show right now.
So Miles says Paul, QT, and Kyle are his top 4. Yeah. Or his top 3. Can I count? Paul is in agreement with Fuego's 4, so all 4 of them together. They're going to work to keep the 4 in high ranking. Okay. It is game time, and it's called It's Personal. They have to vote between 2 answers, the one they like best, and see who they're on the same page with. Okay. So we see people vote for, the choices are whether you want to fight 500 chickens or fight 1 bear.
And your answer to that, Blair, is what?
I would probably fight a bear.
Fight 1 bear instead of 500 chickens?
Yes.
Okay. The thing I want to know, you see, I always make these games kind of hard for everybody else. I just want to know, is it 500 chickens at once, or do I got to go one by one by one by one?
I think it's all at once.
Okay, yeah. I'll fight 500 chickens. I'm not fighting a bear.
Okay.
I'm not fighting a bear.
Okay. Cozy night in or wild night out?
Cozy night in.
Same for me.
I am a homebody.
And they get 50-50. Yeah. Phone photos get leaked or Google searches get leaked?
It doesn't matter to me.
I would rather my phone photos get leaked.
Listen here,
because it's a bunch of screenshots of like recipes.
Listen, all is gonna be basically videos of this.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
My Google searches, I search a lot of different things because I'm curious a lot about different stuff. So
dirty searches?
Not necessarily dirty, but weird stuff. Like, why do you want to know, like, do guinea pigs get eaten in Mexico or something like that?
I don't know why.
Like, why do you want to know that? So it's just like, y'all might find me weird.
I'm good with both.
So it's 50-50. Yeah. No sex for a year or no social media for a year?
I could do no social media for a year.
Yeah, I would do no social media for a year.
I'm married, so I can't choose no sex. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Right. 25-75. Find your parents' sex tape or the parents find yours?
Parents can find my sex tape.
I would rather find theirs.
What?
62-37.
Ew. No. See how your boy get down. No. Okay. like I'm good.
No, I'm okay.
All right.
Game over. So we get an alert. The game was actually a compatibility test. Each player will be paired up based off of their answers. The partnership must be kept a secret from everyone else. Wow. So we see who everyone's ride or die is: Jordan and QT, Paul and Kyle, Lauren and Autumn, and Olivia and Miles.
Interesting.
Paul messages Kyle. They're both excited about the pairing. Paul says Lauren threw him under the bus. Kyle says Lauren could be their next target.
Whoa.
Lauren messages Autumn. She asks who Autumn talked to when she first got here. Autumn says Paul and decides to open up to her about what Paul said. Paul said Lauren was a backstabber. Okay. Lauren thanks her for telling her that and wants to be ride or die with Autumn. Autumn is down if Lauren is being honest. Okay. Jay calls QT gorgeous and asks what she thinks all of this means. QT doesn't know, but she's ready to play the game with Jordan.
Basically, Jordan, you about to get played.
QT says Miles said, if Lauren is nice to you, don't feel special. A friend to everyone is a friend to no one. Miles messages Olivia. They both don't know what this ride or die thing means. They're both actually not excited to be paired with each other.
At all.
Olivia says, you know what? We should just rate each other high to keep each other safe. They discuss who they should vote for the bottom. Miles says Autumn, just as long as it's not QT. Olivia says we're aligned. That's the plan. Let's keep the conversation short. Okay?
And this is what you get, Olivia, because you had the best information to expose everybody.
Right. And Miles has the influence to get you on his side and really be, y'all could really be cool.
Exactly.
And y'all could be, you know, a real dynamic duo out here.
But instead you want to go to Lauren and say, let's be friends. Okay,
exactly.
Cool. Word.
So they have a pairs party. Everyone gets dressed up in different outfits. Mustard and ketchup, bacon and egg, pea and carrots, milk and cookies. So they have a dance party. Then they get an alert. They learn their fates are tied to each other in secret partners. So if you are blocked, your ride or die is blocked with you. And that is it.
Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. We gonna come with the last episode. I think that's number 8 of this grouping. Anything else you want to share on this episode? This episode was pretty good. Both of those, actually.
Yeah, I like the ride or die twist.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to keep people on their toes and make them have to play differently. So.
It has to. And truth be told, I like the little twist in it, because once AI was out, I was like, now it just can't just be about catfishing.
Right.
It gotta be about being paired up with your best person or even the worst person you don't like. You get what I'm saying? So remember, subscribe, like, share, comment. We see y'all in the next video.
Bye.